Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Dial us up on the web at ntnm.org, where you'll find links to YouTube, where over 40,000 shows have been watched at this point. I want to thank Sonny Hersh, who produces the show with me, who runs that website, as well as caps24.org. We're very big on community policing here. Sonny, in his spare time, is the chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District. And if you go to caps24.org, you will find out where all the community policing meetings are in Rogers Park and West Rogers Park. For the rest of the city, dial 311. For suburbs, contact your local police department. And it always is a good idea, even if there aren't regular CAPS meetings or community policing meetings, to stay in good contact with the police, because that way you'll get to avoid meeting people like the judge I've got sitting next to me. On the wrong end. Judge Michael Hyman, how are you?
Great to be back.
First of all, thank you so much, and I want to congratulate you. You're the first Jewish judge in a dozen years since Shelley Sutker-Dermer to actually win for circuit court, and I think that's great.
I think my being on your show had something to do with it, so I appreciate it. I mean, media is important in judicial elections.
Well, I certainly voted for you.
Thank you.
And this time I'll just say I only voted for you once, because they didn't let me vote the 2 or 3 times I wanted to. It just doesn't work. But no, I think it's important, and I think it's very important that people get to know judges, because judges have a profound effect. I mean, right now, you're still in the financial court?
Yes, I do municipal court in collections.
Yeah.
And I see one of the busiest courtrooms in the Circuit Court of Cook County. Every day we have hundreds and hundreds of cases of people who can't pay their bills.
And unfortunately, the world is getting a little worse that way lately.
We're on a record track for the most cases ever in that courtroom, and they've been keeping track for years and years.
Wow.
Over 130,000 cases going to come through this year.
Wow.
So
that's a remarkable number.
We're
That's
busy.
Scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're busy.
So, I mean, is that where you, when you're, hopefully you'll be elected, I mean, come November.
I have no opponent.
So that sounds pretty good.
I'm going to vote for myself, and if I get your vote, that's 2.
And I'm going to make sure Sonny votes for you, too. That'll be 3.
Well, then I won.
Okay. That sounds great. Are you going to be assigned to the same courtroom you're in now? Is that how it works? Or
well, it's wherever the chief judge puts you, and I'm happy wherever I sit. It's a tremendous job.
Which courtroom are you at now?
It's 1401, which is the...
oh, I mean, are you at 26th and Cal?
No, I'm in Daly Center.
Oh, in the Daly Center, okay. Yeah, slightly nicer climate over there.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it, and whatever assignment I have, it's a terrific opportunity to serve the public and to try to do justice, which is always a challenge.
Now, you have to, when you campaign, you have to be actually careful, because it's not like the barrier brawls, fights that the state reps and the Congress people get into, because it's an office of respect.
It's the way you should campaign, and I campaign at a high level and respectful to all my opponents, and I thought that was an important way to proceed.
Yeah, no, actually, you got into the paper in a very interesting manner shortly before the election.
Right. One of my opponents apparently went to the Chicago Sun-Times and told one of the reporters that an individual I had hired to help in my campaign was a former gang member. Now, that was true, knew about that, but the fact was that was 30 years ago. He had served his time. He had turned his life around. The name of the man is Wallace Bradley. He had run for alderman. He was chief of staff for Jerry Butler.
Oh, wow.
He had helped run the campaigns of Dorothy Brown he was involved in, Jesse Jackson Jr., and other candidates, including candidates for the county board. He was a political activist, and he was pardoned by Governor Thompson.
Wow.
1990, so a long time, 18 years.
Yeah.
Pardon, a member of society, raising a family. There was nothing wrong with that. And,
no, I mean, people do actually reform. It does happen, thank God.
Absolutely, and that's what I said, that this man had been reformed, he'd been redeemed, and he was an active member of the community and a terrific individual. I mean, the funny thing is we were the same age, and he made some very bad choices early in his life. But people do that.
Yeah.
We've seen many people fall down on their face. But you get up and you go on with your life, and he was extremely helpful, as were many people in my campaign. And I think that I was fortunate to meet him, and he's the kind of individual that has a great deal of respect for the judicial system.
Yeah. One of the things I do want people to know is that, because I do have a lot of contact, and I haven't been plugging my Jewish Chicago, but I do have a thing in Jewish Chicago. I don't personally rate the various people running for judge, but I have people that are sitting on the bench who have very high marks, as well as lawyers who grade out very highly in the system and are respected, that tell, they basically tell me who the good people are, and I write about them. And you absolutely got as high a praise as anybody running last time around in the circuit court. There's no question about it. Yeah, and people in the in the legal community have the highest respect for you. And everybody, there was a special push. There's always a push usually within the Jewish community in particular, because it had been so long since anybody had gotten elected, despite the high percentage of judges who were Jewish and the highly qualified.
We have a third of the bar is Jewish.
In so many highly qualified, really capable, wonderful people
have lost.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a shame, but it can be done. And I think the type of campaign I ran, and I went into communities, I went to the churches. God's going to be looking at me Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and He's going to say, "You spent an awful lot of time at Baptist churches." But I think God will understand why. But almost every Sunday, from October to February, I went to 4 or 5 services every Sunday.
Right. Well, you were there. You were there for a decent purpose.
I still went on Friday and Saturday too, but but that was different.
That sounds good. I mean, and the fact is, there were a lot of people behind. I mean, people were tipping me. I mean, people like from the past, like who's thank God a judge now, not elected, but people like Roger Fine, who were highly qualified people. Everybody was letting me know, like how much you belong on the bench, and I'm glad you don't have any opposition, and it's really nice to see you.
All of us who ran as Democrats countywide, no Republicans ran, so we're all fortunately going to be elected.
They had a hard enough time just filling spots in the other things. This is not a Republican year in Illinois, that's for sure.
No, doesn't
this
look
is
like
a very good year to be a Democrat in Illinois.
Yes, and that's good. But running for office as a judge is you have to have a tough skin and tough shoe leather, because you do a lot of walking.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, if you're going to that many places, I mean, I can imagine. Then you're just talking about Sunday morning. Then there's the rest of the week.
It was a full-time job. I had 2 jobs for. I started my campaign in July of '07, and the primary was in February of '08. So it was a long, long time.
Wow.
But nothing like what's going on nationally.
Oh, nationally is that's there's a lot going on along those lines. There's no question about it.
Right.
At this point, I want to thank you very much, Judge Michael Hyman, who is presently a sitting judge, who is up for election, and even though he has no opposition, I want to urge all of you to vote for him. And I can tell you that my panel gives him like a major league thumbs up, and frankly, I'm so glad you could make it here, and I want to thank you for your help in getting other judges on in the primary.
Thank
you.
It's
always
Thanks
a pleasure.
for all your help.
Good luck.
Thank you.